That's a rarity. It's been non-stop raining for about the past 2 or 3 days, so to have sun and a little bit of blue sky, oh, that's glorious. I've had 3 letters come through. Mixed levels of excitement. The first is from, this is the first time I've ever had this, the Spanish government. I've been fined for speeding in the Fiat 500 when in Valencia. That's about 3 months ago. I've never had that before. Second, parcel from World of Triumph. I've ordered all of the screws to fit the exhaust, so I'm going to do that today. I am so excited for that. So I'll take you along with me on my journey to try and fit the exhaust. And thirdly, this. Now this I'm really excited about. This is the brand new RecWatches TTT Knievel. RecWatches is a Danish watch brand that make Swiss-made watches, and they specialise in repurposing bits from famous vehicles, whether it be aeroplanes, cars or motorcycles. Let me set the scene for this beautiful watch, because in his day, Knievel was, and still is, a megastar. He was the world's most famous daredevil. So in 1977, CBS contacted Knievel and they said, we want to do a live televised show called Death Defiers. And this was to be based in the Chicago amphitheatre. And in the amphitheatre, with seats stacked ludicrously steeply, there would be a huge 64-foot tank, and you'd have a ramp on one side and a ramp on the other side. And in the middle of the tank, or in the tank, there would be man-eating sharks, or so the marketing would have you believe. And this was all to do with making the most of that Jaws frenzy around at the time. But the day before this live televised jump, Knievel started having second thoughts because he found it extremely difficult to even be able to ride up to the top of this steep ramp. And he thought, with an amphitheatre full of people, this could get dangerous. There could be spectators who could get injured. So the day before, he asked the film crew to record him attempting a jump. He attempted the jump, he traversed the tank of water, but on the other side, as he predicted, he ended up coming off, hit a cameraman and damaged the bike. And it was that failed attempt that signalled the end of Evel Knievel's career. But the bike itself is a Harley-Davidson XR750, because Harley-Davidson had an agreement with Knievel whereby for the rest of his career he would use Harley-Davidson bikes. And this bike has been in the private collection of Evel Knievel's son ever since, this exact shark jump bike. And from this bike, the clutch lever was taken, given to RecWatches, and RecWatches have made this, their new masterpiece, the TTT Knievel. I'll show a few of the beautiful details of this watch. The star in the middle, that is made from the repurposed aluminium from Knievel's exact Harley-Davidson XR750 Shark Jump bike. The star there. Just above it, the words King of the Daredevils, and you've got Knievel's #1 there. The classic red, white and blue colours all along. And if I turn it over here, you can see the word Showtime, if the camera picks it up. And then if we flick it that side, you've got the shooting star. And what that does is it turns it from normal dress mode, like you see here, to riding mode. I mean, that is just a brilliantly unique little feature there, to be able to flick from one to the other. Details all around, such as exhaust lugs attaching the strap of the watch, and just lovely, lovely quality. This will be limited to 736 pieces. It will never be replicated. And I'll show you one final thing. You've got Knievel's signature on the back there with the skeleton movement in clear view. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Okay, now it's time to pay a fine and fit the exhaust. The day has finally come, but I'll be completely honest here, I slightly feel defeated even before I've started, because I think it's going to be a slightly bigger job than I thought, and someone messaged me and said, Freddie, make sure you replace the sensors as well. And then I had a freak out thinking, oh my God, are there sensors on this as well that I need to start changing? I have no idea. So this is the package from Triumph. This is no more than really a few screws and a couple of rubber grommets. All original Triumph parts. World of Triumph, it's a good site. And I use them a lot. But, you know, you got to pay some decent money. It's £140 just for some bolts, rubber bush, locking nut, rubber bush, washer, £140. And I had a look to see how much it would cost if I were to buy original Triumph exhausts for this. Roughly speaking, about £360 for this, and there are two of them. So that's about £720. And these are around £430 or so, and there are two of them. So the total cost for the 4 bits of exhaust would be somewhere around the £1,500 mark, plus about, let's say, £200-ish for the washers and screws. You're looking at about £1,700 if you were to buy all the legit gear brand new. It's an eye-watering amount of money. I'm scared. I don't know if I'm actually looking forward to this, but first things first, I need to see if I can actually get this old exhaust off the bike. Surprise, genuine surprise. All 4 of the screws for the 2 exhaust pipes came off so easily. I sprayed a whole load of GT85 about 2 nights ago, all over it, and they just glided off. No issue at all. And the exhaust, well, that was much, much easier than I thought. Surely it can't all go this well. Okay, so this is now detached, and I can see 2 sensor wires here. They're the ones I'll have to detach. Unscrew this, unscrew that. Could it be a bit easier than I thought it would be? This is weird. I got the entire exhaust off with no issues, no concerns, no snap bolts, nothing ill-fitting, nothing that wouldn't come off, with no issue at all. I think this is a big reason why the Bonneville has such lasting, enduring appeal. Yes, it's a beautiful bike, and it is the blueprint of what people think a bike should look like, maybe in my eyes anyway. But also it's incredibly simple and easy to work on. Everything is just available to me there. Nothing's difficult to get to or tucked away in an untoward place. So far this has gone infinitely easier than I thought it would. And now all I have to do is put the original Triumph one back on. So surely that should be even easier, because it's the exact exhaust that was meant to come with this bike. Something in the back of my mind still thinks that it will go wrong somewhere, but it's a dream at the moment. Whole thing is in pieces again. Because I stupidly tightened everything on this right-hand side without remembering that the two pipes have to attach in the middle. And of course, you can't tighten the entire right-hand side without putting on the left-hand side because you have to guide them into place together, so you have to keep it loose. I then realized as I started attaching the header pipe to the engine that I'd attached one brass connector on this side, a brass washer, on top of the old brass washer. So I've then had to take the whole thing apart. So I'm now quite close to back to square one. I have to line up the two front pipes, make sure each of them only have one washer in them, put those on, and then fit the down pipes and the rest of it. I'm 2 hours in so far. It's okay, it's not a disaster, but it's very, very annoying. I started at, I think, about 12 o'clock. It's now 3:30, so it's a good 3.5 hours or so. But bear in mind, a lot of that was me having to double back on mistakes I made. I can't believe it, but I have put it back together myself. There was nothing really that went wrong with regards to the bike at all. It was only my own mistakes. So I think I could have done it in about, probably start to finish, very, very possibly an hour, the whole thing. Makes me love the Bonneville even more. The simplicity of it. Everything is so, so easy to get to. But I haven't started it yet. I'm nervous now because I've put everything back together. I've screwed it tightly. I've packed up my tools. And what I'm hoping for is an understated sound, exactly as it was meant to come out, or exactly as it did come out of the Triumph factory. Here goes. I'm nervous. Kill switch. Oh, it's so different. Oh, that's a lot of GT85. That is just the way I dreamt it to be. I'm over the moon. It's a very understated, subtle rumble, and then when you give it a bit of accelerator, there's a genuine bit of grunt in the exhaust. It's even better than I thought it would be, and it's an infinitely, infinitely better sound than my old exhaust. That is 5 years. I know it sounds ridiculous. 5 years I've been living with this bike with that atrocious sounding rattly exhaust. And the standard exhaust on the Bonneville, it's music. I'm going to go upstairs, I'm going to get Monika, we're going to go for a ride to the coffee shop, and I'm just going to listen to the sweetest sound. forgot to mention earlier, it's just a calculation with my hands, bear in mind, but I honestly think the entire exhaust system that I took off the bike is the same weight as just one of the exhaust end cans that I've got on here now. I think I've probably added a good 15 kilos to the bike like that. Monica, I hope you got the rear view. 2 exhausts coming out the back.
Yeah, it looks very good.
I love it. It's not just the sound, which I'm over the moon with now. It's so just understated, subtle. You can sit 2 on a bike, just sit there, not feel like you're doing some lasting ear damage, and you can actually hear stuff around you. It's so nice, and it's got a throaty burble as well. And something I genuinely wasn't expecting, it now runs infinitely smoother. So when I twist the throttle, it's not jerky at all. It's very, very smooth, even more sedate than it was before. Before, if you went on the throttle, it would be a slight jolt and you go forward. But here, roll slightly onto the throttle, and it's silky, silky, smooth, refined, understated the whole time. First, second, third gear. Oh, it's a joy. I'm over the moon. I just want to go and ride now. I think tomorrow I'm going to do a 2-hour ride, just myself, into the countryside. We'll wrap it up there. If you're interested in the Rec Watch, I highly recommend TTT Knievel, currently on pre-order, deliveries for December, and I hope that I'll actually be getting one of these myself. So I'll have the TTT Escape and also the Knievel one, and they're 2 of my proudest, or they will be 2 of my proudest possessions. Really, really recommend them. So go and check them out if you're interested. Thank you so much all. Have a brilliant day.